Hey Gene, thanks so much for submitting a question. Today's question from Gene is, how do I go about making more money from acting work? So I'm going to dive deep on this, just kind of give you some different strategies that you can use, and I'm also going to include a few links if you want to learn a lot more about each of the overall strategies. So what you need to do when it comes to earning money from acting, because it is difficult. You've got two different sides in terms of earning money. One is where you're providing a service to other people. The other side of earning money is when you're entertaining people. And generally speaking, providing a service is a lot easier to earn money. You're solving someone's problem, you're helping them get something done, and you can get a job, you could start freelancing, blah blah blah. When it comes to entertainment and entertaining people in some way, especially through acting, a lot of times what happens is a lot of people are sort of competing for just a very small number of spots, in a sense. And those spots typically pay a lot, but it means that everybody else who barely gets any traction with their productions and stuff, they're not going to be earning much money. So it's sort of like, there's a huge amount of money, and then there's a zillion people who are all getting very, very small amount. Whereas with services and helping people, like, everybody's sort of getting a decent amount of money usually. So there's a few things that you can do. The first being commercials. You can definitely look into performing in commercials. Typically, even if it's a non-union commercial, a lot of times companies are willing to pay because they're going to make money off of the product. Whereas, like, if you're looking to perform in short films or something, there's a lot less money. They're working with a very limited budget, and they're hoping for one of those few spots that goes crazy, like we talked about, which is distribution. And so when there's a very slim shot at being able to get a lot of money, you're going to get paid a lot less, and a lot of it might be on contingency, where you might get a percentage of what the film makes or something, and you don't really want to be in that position. With commercials, on the other hand, companies all the time are looking to sell their products, and so they'll have a fairly significant budget to pay each of the actors and the crew, to get their commercial made. But that is sort of easier than getting those other roles, because there's also a lot more commercials that are being made. And even if it's for a very small company or a small commercial, they're still usually going to pay you significantly more, because it's also a shorter period of time. So if you can book like a lot of different commercials, and they're each one day, they might each pay like $500 or something in a day, which is significantly higher than what you might get like at $100 a day, or even less on like a short film, even though that film is shooting for like 2 weeks. So it'd be better to try to find a lot of commercials and get like $500 for each one of those, and you work a shorter period of time. Now, the other way, obviously, is background work. Although it pays a lower day rate, you do get to perform in legit productions as opposed to commercial productions. Legit just meaning like a non-commercial, like story-driven project. And you could definitely do background work. It's not too difficult to find those jobs, but generally speaking, the pay rate is lower. Now, that's sort of short-run solutions for getting paid from acting. Longer term, getting an agent is obviously a good way to go, because they can connect you with larger budget, legit projects that are usually going to be union projects, and they're going to pay a much higher day rate, anywhere from like $750 to $1,000 or even more in a day. So at that point, you would also want to join the Screen Actors Guild. So joining SAG-AFTRA now is, you can definitely get paid a lot more for when you're in that. However, it also becomes a lot harder to find jobs, because you're suddenly like competing in auditions against all these other SAG actors who are really good. So you definitely need to make sure that you have your acting technique on point, your audition technique, all of that, and ideally even a decent reel, and a good resume. Lastly, if you want, it's not directly from acting, so to speak, but you could start a side hustle. I have a lot of information on that. So, like, you could, if you want to perform at different events, whether that's like, doing performance like juggling or magic. I don't know. There's like a lot of different ways that you can sort of incorporate your acting ability, even like storytelling and stuff at like kids' performances or playing a musical instrument, or kids, parties and stuff. There's a lot of different ways that you can kind of incorporate some elements of performance and acting if you're doing events freelance. You could also teach or coach other actors. It's not acting per se, but it's still involved with that. You could even do voice acting work from home if you get a professional audio setup. I have a whole article that goes into depth on voice acting. So I'm attaching a couple of links for you that I think you'll find helpful. One is how to get into commercial acting. One is how to do background work and find those jobs. Another one on how to get an agent, how to join the Screen Actors Guild SAG-AFTRA, and also how to get into voice acting. All right. So I hope that helps. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, and click the notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload more videos. And yeah, be on the lookout because I'm always answering questions from different actors. And if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate you watching.